What is the core concept of Baphomet as presented in the Baphomet Codex? Baphomet, in the Baphomet Codex, is not merely a historical figure or a devil, as commonly perceived, but rather the ultimate symbol of individual spirituality, growth, and the search for inner truth. It is described as an omnipresent and self-reflecting God, representing the totality of reality, everything and nothing at once, the union of all opposites, light and dark, male and female, man and animal, positive and negative. Baphomet is the deity urge of unity and the resolution of opposed forces, the prime element from which all matter and energy arise, and the ultimate observer that is both observing and observed. The Codex asserts that all things are Baphomet, and therefore, individuals themselves are Baphomet in microcosm, capable of shaping and manipulating their own reality through this inherent connection. How does the Baphomet Codex redefine or challenge conventional notions of God and spirituality? The Codex fundamentally challenges traditional religious definitions of God by asserting that man made God, and that God is therefore a matter of perception. It rejects the idea of a separate, external deity that imposes rules, self-denial, or sacrifice. Instead, it posits that God is in our heads, and that our spirituality is an internal sense of a greater universe. The book advocates for defining God for oneself, embracing self-responsibility for all aspects of one's life rather than blaming external forces or a judgmental deity. It suggests that individuals are direct conduits to that God, and an integral part of the God, thereby having the power to master their own reality and shape their own fate. This perspective encourages a shift from blind obedience to self-determination and the pursuit of hidden truths, implying that conventional religions are tools for control that perpetuate lies and deny individual power. What is evolutionary Satanism, and how does it relate to Baphomet and other forms of Satanism? Evolutionary Satanism, as described in the Baphomet Codex, is a unique blend of spiritual and philosophical Satanism. It philosophically aligns with Anton LaVey's modern Satanism, viewing Satan as a symbol of individualism, self-awareness, and self-definition of reality, while also recognizing a spiritual component to reality. For evolutionary Satanists, Satan, or Baphomet, is a real force, the force of nature in the universe, the great unifier and source of all things, but not an intelligence outside themselves. Instead, every individual makes up the whole intelligence of Baphomet, Satan. The goal is personal growth and development in all aspects of existence, knowledge, living conditions, awareness, indulgence, and profit, leading to a spiritual evolution within the self. This contrasts with both philosophical Satanists who reject deity and spiritual Satanists who might believe in an external intelligence. Evolutionary Satanism uses the malleability of reality through individual perception to manipulate it for the Satanist's advantage, embracing both practical and metaphysical approaches. What are the 5 points of self in Satanic thinking, and why are they important? The 5 points of self are fundamental principles in Satanic thinking that outline the core tenets of individual empowerment and self-mastery. They are self-preservation, the ultimate right and drive of all life, extending beyond physical existence to lifestyle and freedom of expression. It also acknowledges this right in others. Self-reliance, the understanding that an individual ultimately has only themselves to truly rely on for success, despite the helpfulness of external connections. Self-responsibility, the acceptance that an individual is responsible for all things in their lives, good or bad, and the ability to manage issues even when they seem out of control. Self-awareness, the rare ability to understand both one's own potential and limitations, confronting fears about self-examination to capitalize on strengths and compensate for weaknesses. Self-control, the mastery of self through objective perspective, removing emotional bias to see situations clearly and strategically exploiting emotional responses when beneficial. These points are crucial as they guide the individual in embracing the true nature, resisting societal programming, and achieving personal mastery of their reality. How does the Baphomet Codex view the relationship between human perception, language, and the manipulation of reality? The Codex emphasizes that reality is a matter of perspective, and that it is a living group construct established by the myriad points of awareness through which it is experienced. It argues that reality is fluid and malleable, and that an event only becomes a singularity when an observer selects one potentiality over all others. This means that what is considered fact is only so when accepted as the correct perspective by an observer. Language is identified as a favored tool for manipulating reality, shaping perspective and, consequently, reality itself. Words like grammar, glamour, and grimoire are highlighted for the close relation, suggesting that language inherently possesses magical power. The Codex posits that understanding and manipulating one's own psychology, particularly through the conscious use of language, e.g., affirmations, symbols, and even body language, allows for the manipulation of external reality. What is magic, according to the Baphomet Codex, and what are its 3 aspects? Magic, in The Baphomet Codex is defined as an act of will that affects reality in a manner that cannot readily be explained by mundane science. It is a form of applied awareness and a technology, and uncommon knowledge, applied by those who understand it. The Codex outlines 3 aspects of magic. Scientific. This involves applying outmoded sciences, mechanical devices, and an unusual understanding of simple physics, as well as exploring modern science and pseudoscience. It's about using knowledge not widely recognized by mundane society to gain an advantage. Metaphysical. This is the common understanding of true magic, involving the manipulation of the ethereal by force of will through spellcasting or ritual. It is fueled by emotional energy, particularly intense desire, and augmented by belief and understanding the natural laws of the universe. Psychological. This is the most widely practiced aspect among Satanists, acknowledging that magic can change reality, primarily within the individual's mind. Rituals serve as a psychodrama to confront and resolve emotional issues, freeing the sorcerer from blockages. It extends beyond the ritual chamber to manipulate symbols, body language, and behavior to influence others. Across all aspects, guiltless action and unwavering belief are emphasized for magic's effectiveness. How does the Baphomet Codex address the concept of evil in Satanism? The Baphomet Codex rejects the conventional, Christian-derived understanding of evil as an absolute force or an opposing entity to good. It argues that good and evil are relative to the individual, and that evil is therefore a concept of rational creatures, a concept produced by the human mind. The Codex initially explores a relativist argument, where what one person considered good would be considered evil by another. However, it then proposes its own definition: evil is a choice, irrational and unjustified, which inflicts needless suffering. This definition excludes actions based purely on instinct or those with a rational, even if disagreeable, justification. It embraces natural urges and the 7 deadly sins as pathways to a pleasurable and fulfilled life, in direct opposition to their condemnation by Christianity. The text clarifies that Satanists do not aim to perform evil deeds for their own sake, but rather challenge societal norms and self-imposed limitations. What is the significance of the self-initiation process in the Baphomet Codex? The self-initiation process in the Baphomet Codex is a crucial and deeply personal journey of transformation, designed to challenge an individual's resolve, test their knowledge, and facilitate a rebirth of the self. Unlike quick, New Age rituals, this initiation is a rigorous, ongoing practice spanning a full lunar cycle, broken into 4 alchemical sections: air, communication; reason, intellect; Lucifer, fire, creativity; imagination, motivation; Satan, water, dreams; flexibility, mystery; Tiamat, and earth, materialization; finances, practicality, Hecate. Each section involves specific meditations, studies, and experiments designed to foster self-definition, self-awareness, and the ability to manipulate one's environment and perception. The process culminates in a self-dedication ritual, symbolizing the death of your old self, and symbolic rebirth as a practitioner of the path, solidifying the individual's connection to Baphomet and their commitment to continuous self-evolution. The secrecy and personal design of the initiation ensure its profound impact, leading to a new mode of thought, behavior, and life.